Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This is a 2v2 matchup. Starbuck and ToD going up against RazerMoon and SoYma. Alright, hopefully I'm saying that right. On the top left-hand side of the map, we have ToD spawning as the purple human. I'm going to actually zoom out a little bit more. Starbuck spawning as the purple undead. I believe Starbuck did go random. He's going up against RazerMoon, who is on the top right, and SoYma, who is on the bottom right. So, yellow night elf going up against a purple human and a purple undead. 2-minute mark in this game already quickly reached, as heroes will be, heading on out, doing a bit of creeping, as it will be a demon hunter and most likely a fire lord or some other tavern hero going up against an archmage and most likely a death knight. Yeah, death knight, delayed a death knight with crypt fiends. Feels like I'm a little bit too far out. Let's get closer to the action, even though these battles may be massive. Alright, Militia clearing out of this jungle stalker creep camp. Ring of protection +4 dropped will give the archmage a little bit more survivability. Meanwhile, SoYma doing a little bit of creeping with that demon hunter nearly at level 2. And both sides, it's Panda first. Alright, so RazerMoon going for a Panda first. Very strong AoE based hero early on, can get in some big breaths of fire. Are we going to see, that one footman getting taken down so quickly, as the archers are now going to try and retreat back as well. There goes another unit. And what was that? It looked like it was Drunken Brawler as the first ability over Breath of Fire. So without Breath of Fire, not able to really burst down the damage or blow over any of these footmen here, as the Ancient of War trying to get into position. This archer has been trying to just constantly drink up mana, heal well, and instead ends up getting taken down, denied. At least no experience was given. Brewmaster in a little bit of trouble, and it doesn't look like SoYma is going to try and offer any help, as he's still trying to do some creeping on his own. Doesn't want to bring into the fight a low hit point demon hunter. Meanwhile, back across on the other side here, Militia clearing out of this creep camp here. That is going to finish things up. Death Knight now sitting at level 2, as the Panda, pushing this Archmage away. Great teamwork by ToD and Starbuck here, using Militia and having the Death Knight lead the charge to clear out that creep camp. I don't believe RazerMoon and SoYma are going to think that an expo is being established, as ToD's Archmage is off over here and was able to gain up levels while pressuring. So that's one of those situations. If the human is harassing you at such an early stage in the game, you would normally think that's when the human player is trying to clear out this expo, but it's the Death Knight who did it by Starbuck, and thereby perhaps opening up an opportunity. Archmage continuing to push back over. Archmage could be in trouble though, pushing a little bit too far. Archmage now completely blocked in. ToD being forced to use a Scroll of Town portal, as those water elementals and footmen, are they going to get too far away? No, they are not. And there goes a wolf panda, now finally at level 2. Expo up. Archmage going to try and clear out of this no warding creep camp, purge onto the water elemental, but it wasn't a freshly summoned one, so not too big of a deal. Meanwhile, down to the south side here, Death Knight Crypt Fiends going up against Demon Hunter archers. Demon Hunter with that Ring of Regeneration and Nightfall regeneration. You see how fast his recovery rate is. And with that high armor, how difficult it is to really finish off that unit. Oh, beautifully done right there, SoYma, using the Moonwell build trick in order to dodge that death coil and then escape away nicely. Good day, Crota. What game do we have here? A 2v2 matchup, Starbuck, ToD, Starbuck and ToD going up against RazerMoon and SoYma. Death Knight does get up to level 3, level 2 Death Coil on the table. Meanwhile, Archmage wanting to get to level 3 too, should be able to, I believe there's enough creeps here. Yeah, enough creeps here to finish and get to level 3. Those level 2 water elementals that much more powerful. Starbuck and ToD pretty much setting the pace of the game so far. clearing out creep camps effectively and quickly. Meanwhile, RazerMoon just now trying to set up his own expo. Demon Hunter, Naga Sea Witch, chasing after all of these Crypt Fiends here. Is the Naga Sea Witch going to get another cold arrow off? No additional cold arrows to try and pick off these straggler Crypt Fiends. Meanwhile, back off to the north here, ToD, well, getting into position, ready to launch back into the north, perhaps start and engage in a 2v1 fight. All right, mana burn across here. Both sides still fighting. Archmage, Crypt Fiends pushing through. Death Knight now looking to back up again, and we do finally see the Lich out here on the battlefield by Starbuck. Additional heroes getting added in. Tech to tier 2 by ToD, not yet completed. RazerMoon's already teching to tier 3 as well. I don't see a second hero yet coming in from RazerMoon, but SoYma did get that Naga Sea Witch. Granite Golem easily cleared out here. Force Troll High Priest giving plenty of inner fire to all of these, well, all of these creeps here. That additional armor coupled with the medium armor, difficult for these Dryads and Archers to finish. Meanwhile, Crypt Fiends showing up to the party saying, you know what, let's go ahead and pick apart a Crypt Fiend. How much damage can we do? Already down to 106 hit points. As the Demon Hunter, well, could be having a little bit of trouble. There's a mana burn as well, and it looks as though this Demon Hunter is going to end up getting cleaned up here. No! Oh, wow, I thought for a moment he was going to be able to escape. Instead, we're looking at a, well, Dryad able to escape at the very last moment. I think it was nearly dead. Nope, yep, that may have been him, well, next to that empty Moonwell. 4v4 World Championship going on at the moment. Would you be up for casting some star-studded 4v4 games? Wow, like, definitely feels like a marathon if you're trying to cast a 4v4, but yeah, definitely want to give it a try. All right, Goblin Alchemist, well, trying to take down that Goblin Zeppelin. Or the Zeppelin there. Meanwhile, Ancient of War in that front position, roar across all the entire Night Elf armies, and that is going to be a massive damage bonus here, able to shoo back all of those units. Obsidian statues out here on the battlefield, and talk about a strong composition together. Having an Obsidian statue and a Brilliance Aura for the Archmage that can be, or that can translate to a lot of, well, just hero spells. And we know how effective hero spells can be for both the Archmage, or both human and undead. All right, units trying to retreat back here. Abolish magic, removing water elementals like they were, well, made of magic, as the Brewmaster continuing to well, finish off and blow over units again and again, trying to, timing the defend there, able to reflect back a little bit of damage as a second barracks now being placed down. Arcane Sanctums getting placed down in addition to barracks. So ToD quickly went into tier 3 and is now trying to get infrastructure up, but this may be a little bit of a downfall as the army of RazerMoon in position now. Dryads, well, quickly abolishing magic again, giving easy experience as we now see a level 5 Brewmaster. Level 5 Brewmaster blowing over large amounts of damage, and that could be a trouble as we are looking at the Militia, well, who already took a level 3 Breath of Fire, just getting cleaned up against all of these Dryads and other units. All right, Goblin Zeppelin picking up, dropping down. There's a Breath of Fire. Archmage survives at 4 hit points. Fork Lightning, all the units are trying to retreat back here. In comes, well, SoYma, RazerMoon trying to put in pressure against Starbuck and ToD. Healing Ward now placed down. Archmage is able to, well, get in a lot of heals here as both sides are fighting their way through. Brewmaster in a lot of trouble. Both sides fighting, both sides fighting here as the, well, Alchemist quickly resurrects. Brewmaster forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal to retreat back. RazerMoon pressing in harder than I would have normally expected. SoYma now trying to retreat back as well, but because they didn't fight and engage at the same time, it, well, is now becoming a 2-on-1 chase fight as the Death Knight gonna, well, not finish off that Druid of the Claw. A WarCraft 2 best player? Wow. Tides of Darkness. It's been some time since I even played, like, thinking back to that. Goblin Zeppelin quickly getting hired up. Archer, however, well, easily shut down right there. As well, Archmage is only at level 3 and the Alchemist is only at level 1. So ToD is definitely behind in the hero level race. Death Knight is at 4. Lich is at 3, and that Naga Sea Witch is at level 2. Fork Lightning, plenty of armor, plenty of ways to deal damage. As the Goblin Zeppelin, what is going to be this? Airdropping quite a bit of damage. Here we are, here we go. What are we going to drop inside here? Archer's Panda, Breath of Fire should be going across all those units, and now suddenly all of those units low on hit points. We're looking at Healing Spray trying to keep them alive, as the Panda could come back over with another big Breath of Fire again. All right, waiting for another big Breath of Fire. There's more Breath of Fire. Healing Spray by ToD trying to keep his peasants alive, as the Knights are now making their way back over. All right, Brewmaster losing that anti-magic cell, but not really mattering nearly as much, as there goes another Breath of Fire trying to finish things off again and again. Druids of the Claw are trying to engage. There's some Staff of Sanctuaries. Well, I think that was a Staff of Preservation to try and save a low hit point unit. Druid of the Claw in the back. There's another Breath of Fire. Brewmaster now up to level 6, but doesn't have enough mana for Earth, Storm, and Fire, and we may have to see a tactical retreat back out of here with a Scroll of Town Portal. Druids of the Claw are still fighting their way through. Breath of Fire, well, draining the mana off of that Brewmaster. Goblin Zeppelin elevating units back out here. There's a Staff of Preservation, and the Brewmaster is going to use Scroll of Town Portal to get away, perhaps bringing back this Zeppelin to fly along with it. There they are, back at home. Staff of Preservation right there. RazerMoon with a lot of tactics going on. Meanwhile, Starbuck going to end up losing his Expo down here, as we see a tactical retreat by SoYma as well. All right, one Druid of the Claw does end up getting lost. Wow, Lich down to 40 some odd hit points, even while standing on Blight and getting healed up by that Obsidian statue. All right, SoYma going to lose one Goblin, or one Zeppelin down on the south side here. One more attack from the Destroyer. There it goes. That Zeppelin was playing upstairs, and yeah. ToD, well, in a little bit of trouble now. He knows that he needs to reinforce his base here, and these Goblin Zeppelin drops have really been hurting ToD's just tempo and pace. He needs to crank out more units, but he's also had to replace a lot of peasants and fight a lot inside his base here, and unsure of where RazerMoon and SoYma are going to be pushing across next. This is all a mental game at this point, as we see, well, the Hippogriff, Fairy Dragon, and now going to go ahead and dive on in again. Brewmaster is here. There's a Breath of Fire, racking up damage. Are we going to see an Alchemist Healing Spray, as the Druids of the Claw are fighting their way through? Scroll of Town Portal heading back here. There's Anti-Magic Shell, and, well, the Goblin Alchemist already down to 278 hit points. Archmage going to be forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal. There's the Destroyers trying to retreat back out, as the Undead is here. That full hit point army able to engage against all of these units. Tactical retreat back once more. Now, back down to the southern side, SoYma pushing across with his Night Elf army ready to engage. It looks as though there is, well, the Demon Hunter going to try and take down this Haunted Gold Mine before it is able to get up and running. But it looks as though that may be difficult anyhow. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Destroyers able to deal some damage back against these units again. And there we have it, the Haunted Gold Mine trying to be repaired, but the repairs are not in time, as the Destroyers are trying to fall back again. Both sides' armies pushing their way through. Naga Sea Witch gets absolutely blasted at level 2. Demon Hunter now getting surrounded, and does it have a way out? It does not look like it. All the heroes are nearby here. Druid of the Claw, Demon Hunter, well, trying to use a potion of invulnerability in order to outlast, as the Naga Sea Witch could have some cold arrows, and now Demon Hunter, well, went just a bit too far. Back off to the north again. It looks like another Goblin Zeppelin play by RazerMoon, but ToD very well aware of the situation, ready to defend. And here we are. Here we go again. Dropping inside. Demon Hunter did fall at level 4. Meanwhile, another big engagement off to the north here. Archmage, Archmage, Mana Flare, Druids of the Claw fighting their way through. Goblin Alchemist in trouble, and Starbuck shows up in time to force RazerMoon to retreat. Alchemist falls at level 1. Tactical retreat back out again. Yeah, both sides constantly putting in pressure. All of the fighting is happening on the purple side of the map. So home field advantage does belong to purple, but it feels like SoYma and RazerMoon's harassment is actually dealing decent amounts of damage. Meanwhile, Drew to the Claw is trying to perhaps finish off some of these units here. There we are. There's a quick roar, but the roar not going to do much for the Dryads as Starbuck comes over to reinforce. Death Knight now up to level 5. Demon Hunter of SoYma needs to go ahead and teleport back out. All right, Starbuck back at a low upkeep right now, getting to set up a necropolis. Needs to get every bit of gold that they can. Well, a hippogriff, a fairy dragon, and a goblin zeppelin go into ToD's base. That could literally be the title of this game right now. I think this is the 3rd or 4th time that this exact scenario has happened. And, well, ToD is ready. All right, here we are. Mana Flare there. There's a Breath of Fire. Anti-magic cell quickly being dispelled. Both sides fighting their way through. All right, what is the Brewmaster going to be doing here? Trying to fight. He is getting arcane feedback. Is he going to go into Earthstorm and fire? He does have a potion of lesser invulnerability. Oh, there's a staff of Sanctuary right next to him. Holy Light trying to save the target as well. There's another staff of Sanctuary, and the Knights are just getting teleported on the far side of the castle, and that somehow is still enough. All right, one knight gonna get finished off there. There's level 7 on the Brewmaster. Still more pressure adding in once more. There is some, well, destruction happening against SoYma's gold mine here. Fork Lightning finishing off all of those wisps as the Brewmaster falls at level 7. ToD able to finish off a level 7 Brewmaster with a level 4 Archmage and I think a level 2 Alchemist and at the time a level 1 Paladin. Able to defend that there and just hold on. It feels like RazerMoon was just trying to use the same strategy, rinse and repeat over and over, and ToD just eventually found the right combination of units and defense to shut it down. Off to the north, RazerMoon's, well, additional Expo easily going to get cleaned up by ToD now. We also see triple Staff of Sanctuary by the human side. As Starbuck, well, Goblin Shredder here, 52/70 supply. Additional mining happening at the Expo here. Just now getting underway. Evelyn, could you check on Arya? Thank you. All right, RazerMoon back ready with a full Panda. Going to try and engage here. Panda has not used Earthstorm and Fire yet. Trying to poke apart some of these units. There we do see some slow poison. Hippogriff is there just to try and reinforce and, well, do a little bit of damage. But Brewmaster is still fighting. There goes a Water Elemental. There goes a Breath of Fire. Ancient of War coming back around. All right. Druids of the Claw. All right, sorry. I'm trying to hear my family upstairs, making sure that everything is going well. Things like... Sounds like things may... Yeah. Anyways, coming back around, Ancient of War easily going to get picked off. ToD's army more than enough to take down a lone Ancient of War out in the middle of the battlefield. Fairy Dragons in that Mana Flare mode. Staff of Preservation, or is that Preservation? Yeah, trying to save, I believe, a bear. Heading back, nope, that wasn't a bear. Could have been a knight, but both sides still poking apart at these units. ToD has multiple Staff of Sanctuaries ready to go, and ToD has just been playing in this defensive game. There you have it once more, that farm protecting the knight there as we see a Breath of Fire blow on over again. Could finish off more of these buildings as Chimeras are now joining in on the battlefield here. Chimeras very powerful against, well, obviously those water elementals, taking that down as well, but also could get the siege attack and start going after some of these buildings. All right, Chimera needs to back away, wants to back up. taking down the Arcane Vault to remove some of that home field advantage, as the Panda now pushing back off to the north again. Sorceress trying to do a little bit of slow, where you can see Druid of the Claw perhaps taking far too much damage, as the Knights are now actually trapped on the inside, unable to engage. Knights are just dancing around the back here, as the Paladin is fighting back here. So yeah, you can see these sorceresses here, the Knights just unable to fight and engage, and ToD losing a little bit of control of his army. Demon Hunter falls at level 4 on another fight on the other side of the map here, as the Death Knight now using a Scroll of Town Portal to head back and get into position once more. Alright, ToD purposely scrolled of Town Portal to reposition himself next to Starbuck. Meanwhile, RazerMoon continue to push inside the main base now, and now inside the main base could deal, large bouts of damage against the actual infrastructure in the back here. Now, downside of using Earthstorm and Fire right now, he is not able to use a Scroll of Town Portal in order to retreat with his army until Earthstorm and Fire comes to an end. Alright, there goes Earth, and now the Brewmaster saying, you know what, I don't want to be here any longer, let me get out of here. Meanwhile, Naga Sea Witch by SoYma, leading a solo charge into the expo of Starbuck. Starbuck not going to be able to get any additional mining, as the Druid of the Claw and the Naga Sea Witch, able to easily rack up damage against all of those units as well. ToD's Expo only has 2.5 minutes of mining left. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Scroll of Town Portal inbound, Tree of Eternity bringing back all those units. The Tree of Eternity migrated over from the main base. Important thing to note, supply counts 22 and 62 going up against 62 and 72. Starbuck and ToD with a definitive lead in supply, now racing across the map to try and finish the game. Alright, Chimera is going straight after some of those Knights. Panda could try and Breath of Fire it over. We could see an easy Staff of Sanctuary, as the Breath of Fire is a split, just a little second late there. Both sides still engaging, but Starbuck and ToD looks like they've held on long enough from the constant onslaught of RazerMoon and SoYma to perhaps, trade much more efficiently and then come out on top. A lot of destroyers here. Obsidian statues have plenty of mana. That's something that you rarely ever see, but does help when you have a level 2 Brilliance Archmage, or Brilliance Aura Archmage, and providing mana to these Obsidian statues. Alright, just slowly attacking with this army now. However, it looks like the Brewmaster of RazerMoon ready to perhaps do some engagement again. There's a Scroll of Town Portal heading back the other way. Mana Flare ready. Sorcerer's Priest trying to separate up just a little bit. Chimeras going after those targets. We see Staff of Preservation, Staff of Preservation bringing back one of the Chimeras back home, as one Chimera not going to get lucky enough as it gets taken down. Rifleman also joining in on the fight as well. Brewmaster still sitting at level 8. The Chimera trying to make its way back over after getting Staff of Preservation. Now, being forced or being told to go back. I was wondering how it got back so quickly. The Tree of Eternity of RazerMoon has moved to that 12 o'clock spot. Brewmaster now trying to fall back here. This one Druid of the Claw, that's going to just Staff of Preservation right there. Far a little bit further, but not all the way back home to safety. And then that means that the Chimera, one more shot. Is it going to get taken down? Nope, it is. A big deny right there. All right. Tree of Eternity, 38 over 40 supply. RazerMoon's army is starting to look a bit weak. Meanwhile, SoYma's army, 24 supply. It's just going to be a matter of time, as Starbuck is still mining gold. ToD still has a decent-sized army and may try to mine a little bit of gold here in just a second with all these militia. That is going to be the game. Starbuck and ToD was up against the ropes for so long, constantly getting attacked by RazerMoon and SoYma, and the hero, the very high level hero, that Brewmaster. However, ToD was able to fend it off with, I think, a level 3 Archmage, a level 1 Alchemist, and a level 1 Paladin for so long that they were able to get their feet underneath them and then just start pulling away, trading efficiently. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.